Welcome to Empowered Being Press author interviews. And today we're interviewing Maria Angela Russo. I'm so excited to have you here today, Maria. Thank you for sharing a little bit about what inspired you and why you wrote your book, and to help readers and people maybe visiting the website to understand a little bit more about who you are and what moves you to do what you've done so far. And before we start, I'd like to just read a little bit about you so people can understand some of your background.
Okay.
So Maria is currently residing in Denver, Colorado. She's a social worker specializing in childhood trauma, which is often the root cause for addiction. She received her undergraduate degree in psychology at the University of Memphis and her master's degree in social work at Tennessee University. Strong credentials there, Maria, strong credentials. So we have your book here on display, The Growing Soul, My Transformational Journey from Adversity to Divine Within. And that's a very powerful title. It says a lot right there. So what inspired you to write your book?
Well, when I was a young adult, I knew that there was something just wasn't right with me. I felt like it was almost irreparable damage. I didn't know why I felt so disconnected from my life. I felt disconnected in my relationships, disconnected with God. I didn't know at the time that this was residual effects of having gone through childhood trauma. I was able to go through the motions of living, but I was very depressed all the time. By the time I was in my mid-30s, like I said, I went through the motions and I had what looked like a really nice life. I looked from the outside anyway. I had a husband, big house, 3 children, cars, vacations, everything looked like the ideal situation, but I was miserable. So my depression was actually, at that time, I was noticing it was getting worse and it was starting to scare me. So that led me to this one day I had an epiphany. And I realized that I had been waiting for somebody to rescue me. I had been waiting for somebody to say, what is wrong? And how can I help you change, how can I help you make your life better? And I've been waiting for that since I was a kid. So the reality of 25 years going by and not ever hearing anybody ask that question made me realize it wasn't going to happen. So that led me to realize that I had 2 choices. I could let the depression take me where it wanted to, and that could be not a very good place. Or I could ask myself those questions. I could basically rescue myself.
Wow, powerful.
Yeah, it's the one thing that gave me the most hope that, wait a minute, I made a decision to get help. And that was the beginning of, I found a therapist, I learned how to do therapeutic journaling, I had many teachers. I also discovered that it's really true that when you set an intention for your highest good, that the universe steps in and handles the details. All the right people showed up at all the right times, and I was on this journey. It was also the beginning of, I got very excited about, I felt like I discovered something, and I got excited about sharing it with people. So right from the beginning, I kind of knew someday that I would put it in book form, that I'd write a book so that I could help other people see that this was possible. I was sure I wasn't the only one who was waiting for something outside of me to change my life.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely.
that's so that was my inspiration. It took me a lot of healing, and I needed to go through the process, but that led me to actually having a book for people to read.
But sharing your story of triumph and inner work and all that. Fantastic. Wow.
Right.
So I have one more question, which is, in what way do you hope that those who read your book will experience empowerment and be able to access a better life for themselves?
Well, it's my hope that people will be inspired to awaken to different possibilities in their own life.
Mm,
My story is just my story. It's just an example of what's possible. And everybody's on their own journey. But I hope that by reading my book, that people will um, be inspired to find out what do they maybe need to rescue themselves from, what's holding them back, what do they need to look at, what kind of possibilities are there for them. Um, so the thing, I guess, the main thing for me is for people to realize there's nobody outside of us. We're the ones that we are seeking. There's nobody else
yes.
that knows what any of us need. We know what we need. And the good news is that our soul knows what we need. And
Mhm.
so when we align with the wisdom of our soul and the wisdom of our spirit, then that's the companion, that's that walks the path with us.
Fantastic. Yes.
And that's what I hope people begin to realize if they haven't discovered it yet in their own life, to give it a try, and um, basically recognize there's your own answer. Your answers are within you, and I hope everybody takes that road.
That's powerful, though. That's huge gift of insight, and I've and be, being familiar with your book's contents and story. I, I I remember many times at the different shows we've gone to, how people who have read your book would come up to our booth and just be so grateful and inspired and exactly express to you the outcome that you are hopeful for them
Right.
as a reader, exactly what you set out to do, you've accomplished with this book. So,
That warms my heart.
yeah, congratulations. So,
Thank
um, again, this is Maria Angela Russo, the author of The Growing Soul. Her book is available through the Empowered Whole Being Press website, but also Amazon, Barnes& and Noble. If you go into your local bookstore and give them the barcode ISBN number, they can order it. It's virtually available anywhere in the world. So if this speaks to you, if you resonate with Maria's message, please do look for it. And I'm sure if it does resonate, it will bring you insight and clarity that you're looking for. Thank you for being with us today, Maria. We really appreciate you sharing your story and bringing this information more available to people who might really touch their heart in life.
Oh, thank you, Candace. I appreciate your support.
Bye.
Bye.